This made a lot of news over the weekend. President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama went to Saudi Arabia for the funeral of King Abdullah. We talked about King Abdullah's record. I'll get to a bit more of that in a second. There's a lot of criticism, obviously, for, President Obama cutting a trip short from India to go to Saudi Arabia. All sorts of sort of gushing platitudes and appreciations for the king from President Obama and from other leaders in Washington. Now, Michelle Obama went along with President Obama and did not wear a veil or any type of head covering whatsoever, which is shocking for a couple of reasons, because I got to tell you, this whole their secret Muslim identity that those two have goes so deep. Like, they're so deep cover as Muslim double agents that Michelle Obama passed up an opportunity to wear a veil, which I'm sure she would love to be able to wear every day. So that must have blown a bunch of Republicans' minds. But, all kidding aside, this has been covered in a number of different ways. Some people said there was a major backlash in Saudi Arabia on Twitter. I think, frankly, there was, a little bit over 1,000, maybe a couple of thousand tweets condemning Michelle for not wearing covering. Frankly, in a country with as heavy Twitter use as Saudi Arabia, that's not really that high of a reaction. And visiting dignitaries are not required to wear a covering in Saudi. And you could see plenty of pictures of Condoleezza Rice or Angela Merkel, and Laura Bush in her 2005 visit also did not wear a covering. But look, Michelle Obama's a global presence, and she's also really a fashion icon, frankly. People have even compared what she's done to fashion diplomacy. She puts a great deal of thought into the clothing choices that she makes, and I think there's no doubt that her choice was a silent rebuke to the kingdom's just abominable record on women's rights. And that should be acknowledged and appreciated. And it was fascinating to watch. Some of the members of the family shook her hand, others just nodded in her direction. But clearly her making that choice was registering a symbolic protest against the kingdom's policies against women. So fascinating.